Hello and welcome to our latest video podcast. My name is Stuart Wilson. I'm the Corporate Marketing Director at Key Group, and joining me this afternoon, delighted to be joined by my colleague Jason Ruse, who's Business Development Director at Key Group. So welcome, Jason. It's good to see you. Been a long time since we since we met.
Absolutely,
Your press.
absolutely. You got a jolly nice beard since the last time I saw you.
It is coming along quite nicely. Quite proud of this. So we're going to get into some specifics about the way in which advisors and firms in this market are sort of facing into the problems of COVID-19, actually looking at some of the opportunities here as well. But if you can just give a brief introduction to yourself and what your role is within.
Yeah, of course, no problem, Stuart. So, as Stuart said, I'm the Business Development Director for Key. So my role is to look after some of our strategic partners in the intermediary space. So across all our product lines, so More to Life, Air Group, and Key Partnerships. So depending if they are equity release writers, or if they're just someone who wants to refer to us, or they're looking at sourcing, my job is to work with the networks and their senior management and across the whole business to ensure that they get the support they need from us to help them grow their equity release business, and obviously to help us grow ours as well.
Great. So, in terms of that role, then, over the last few weeks, you must have had no end of virtual meetings like this, or on the phone with advisors, senior business owners, people right at the top of some of the biggest networks in the UK. What's the general consensus? What's the general feeling out there amongst the advisor population and the business owners and the senior management teams of these big networks in terms of the crisis, the COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, well, obviously, initially, I think probably when the lockdown sort of happened, the initial bit was shock. How are we going to continue writing our business? And obviously, as soon as the government said that housing purchase transactions weren't able to go ahead, that was for a lot of businesses, 40% of their business sort of wiped out overnight, really. So it was, how do we also work from home? So how do we get systems in place? How do we get our people working? Have we got enough technology? What are we going to do about pipeline? So it's been really difficult. And then obviously there was the issue around furloughing staff. So we've seen some of our bigger businesses who are linked to estate agents have to furlough some of their mortgage advisors because, the branches obviously aren't open, and although they're running still, they're obviously a lot quieter than they were. So, it's been a real sort of, challenge, but like all challenges, and, with the intermediary population, what they've done very quickly is, they've got their house in order in the sense of getting working from home, and have started to look at other ways that they can support their customer bases and making sure that their clients are in focus and that whatever their needs are, they can really help them.
That's great, because actually I want to come back to that point in terms of the ongoing customer needs and how advisors can get under the skin of those needs and those opportunities. But just taking it down a level from the business owners and how the big firms are thinking and how they've reacted to home-based working, what have you. What's the mood of advisors and intermediaries out there? Is it a positive one, negative one? What's the feeling of the company?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, Stuart. And I think, the first week or so, it was sort of, mouth open, oh my God. But as I said, with regards to the actual owners of businesses, people are very resilient, so I think initially there was great concern around, what are we going to do? How are we going to keep transacting business? But I think in the main residential markets, we've seen a lot of the lenders come in now in the main mortgage market. The LTVs are starting to creep up again, looking at offering desktop valuations and working as we have with the Law Society around how you can get through the legal element as well. So I think now people are seeming to be a lot more positive, and within quite a short period of time have actually got their business in a place where they're open for business again, and they're getting inquiries starting to come through for people who are saying, I want to look at a remortgage. There's still people doing commercial mortgages, so there's still that going on. So I think again, from probably quite a dark place, probably 3-4 weeks ago, I think already from the conversations I've had this week, people are much more positive around ways that that they can transact and they can work with their customers.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, isn't it? Because in one sense, COVID-19 has brought life as we know it to pretty much a halt in terms of going out and socializing and even going into work. But in many respects, of course, life does still go on. There are still needs for equity release, maybe not to buy a new car or go away on a round the world cruise, but there are still people in need of equity release, aren't there? And those needs span a wide
Absolutely.
variety of the marketplace, whether you're a mortgage broker or a wealth manager, don't there? There's lots of opportunities still out there, or needs, client needs.
Absolutely, Stuart. And we're already seeing people who obviously with what's happened with the stock market, customers who have got assets and have been taking income out of them have, now looking at other ways of actually providing some income to them because they don't want to continue to take money out of their investments because of the losses. So we've seen that happening. Obviously, a lot of people want to help their families at this time. So mum and dad or nan and granddad wanting to give some money to their children or grandchildren to help them through this, difficult period. And so there's been a whole host of reasons for people to be looking at this market right now, because people have got immediate needs. Yes, it's not going to be for the the great holiday that they were thinking about, or the new car right now, but they want to have income available or lump sums available so that they can actually support themselves if required, but also support them their nearest and dearest. And also you've got the care piece as well. People are still wanting to provide care in the home, or if one of the partners is in a home, providing to pay for that care right now. So there's a whole host of areas that this market is very much open and able to support the clients that you've got if required.
Yeah, absolutely. The final point I wanted to come on to was around the ways in which advisors and intermediaries can get into this market. Because even before COVID-19 raised its head, this was a market that was evolving and changing rapidly. Over 300 products available at the beginning of the year. I was looking at an updated market map just a couple of hours ago, and of course it's changed dramatically as lenders have had to adjust their product sets, and not all of the lenders are back into the market yet and fully trading. So quite a complicated time, I guess, for even specialist advisors to kind of get their heads around all of the changes that have happened. So if you're a mortgage broker, you're a wealth manager, you're not familiar with this market at all, are there still opportunities, are still ways to for them to get involved and talk?
Absolutely. We at key partnerships, we're seeing a lot of referral inquiries. A lot of people that and even equity release writers who haven't done telephony based advice before. They don't want to do it, so they're looking at could we look at that for them, because we have a gold plated sales standards. We understand how to deliver telephony advice. So we are seeing a lot of people that actually want to look at the opportunities but don't necessarily want to do it themselves. So if the product solutions at this moment in time aren't what they were, so you need to make sure that if you're doing it yourself, use a great sourcing tool like AIR, for instance. We know More to Life have done a load of work with their funders and the Equity Release Council and Law Society to ensure that as many product lines are available. And obviously we've got the semi-auto valuation piece. So there's lots of innovation right now from the funders and across the market to try and keep this market open for those clients that need it. The great thing with the referral service with key partnerships is it's really simple. It's a name, address, and a phone number. They can send us the leads via our portal. We have a fantastic portal, as you know. I think we've had that now online capability for over 3 years, so people can submit their leads 24/7. We will obviously ensure that that we come back to them, really quickly, book the appointment if required, and take the customer through the whole process. And importantly, if it's not right for the customer, we will tell them that as well. Because equity release isn't necessarily going to be the right answer for every conversations, but by dealing with an expert like ourselves who have been providing equity release advice for over 20 years now, they can be confident that they're dealing with someone who understands this market and is used to operating in it previously and currently in this new working environment.
Great stuff. Well, thanks for joining today, Jason. Really good to talk to you and to see you.
Yeah, you too, Stuart. It's good to see you as always.
Yeah, and thanks for your insights there. And if anyone's interested in the referral route, I would urge you to check out the Key Partnerships website. Go to keypartnerships.co.uk. There's some fantastic tools and information on there. And if you register with Key Partnerships, you can get through to the portal that Jason was referencing just there, which has even more content and more tools that you can get access to, as well as, of course, that referral portal that you can use 24/7 with real-time updates. It's a fantastic resource. Even if you're not ready to start referring right now, it's a great resource for information and education on this market and what's going on. So thank you for joining today, Jason. Really appreciate it.
No problem, Stuart. Thank you.
Take care of yourself. And
look after yourself.
Please take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next broadcast. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Stuart. Cheers.